Thank you, guys. Yeah, so today, so welcome to our fourth live Zoom event, Meet the Trainers. Today is Wednesday, July 12th, pretty much all over the world, which is a first. And like I said, the time worked for Europe as well. So, and we even have someone on the Eastern time zone. So that's pretty early for them. So thanks for showing up. Today, I'm really excited to have our certified trainer, Liu Yi, who also, well, she doesn't go by the name of Louise anymore, so I take that off. But she's from China. She'll be one of the trainers at the Bali IIT that's happening from October 24th to November 2nd. I'll let her introduce herself in a minute. I'll just do some housekeeping stuff. My name is Val. I'm the local organizer in beautiful Bali. So this is the last of the series of Meet the Trainer, and hopefully you've had a chance to meet all of the trainers and support trainers that will be at the IIT. If not, we have those recordings on our Facebook and also on YouTube. I can share the links in the chat later. And also, after that, if you're a registered participant or if you pre-registered, there's going to be an NVC gathering this weekend. We're running it as a fundraiser for the Bali IIT and in combination with the California US IIT to raise funds for scholarships. We've had a lot of requests for scholarships, so we are trying to raise funds to even give even more scholarships. So participants, the pre-registered participants will have free access, and then pre-registered candidates can put the registration fee, which I think is $200, towards their Bali IIT registration fee as well. And there'll be 10 NVC trainers, a lot of them from Bali as well. So it's going to be really good learnings and really good workshops and training. It's over 3 days, I think. And then I'll put the registration link in the chat later. So I'm so glad to see you guys here today. Please feel free to post any questions that you may have in the chat. And also to let you know that we're recording this and we're posting this on our social media. So please be aware that your image and voice will be recorded if you choose to turn on your camera or speak on the Zoom call. If you do not consent, please, turn off your camera, change your name, and do not speak during the call. But you can also, contact us in the chat. That won't be showing up, so you can always ask your questions there. So welcome, Louis. And so tell us a little bit about yourself. And the floor is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Val. Yeah, I know how much work IIT organizers need to do, and thank you for so much effort for making this happen. Hello everyone. Liu Yi actually is my full name. Liu is the family name, Yi is the given name. But because Yi, it doesn't sound very good. When I was living in Switzerland and Germany, I know Yi is like showing disguise. So that's why, people learn to call my full name, which is also the way we Chinese also call each other. Normally, if you have a short given name, you just combine the family name and the given name together. So Liu Yi is how people call me. So I'm based in Shanghai. I've been practicing learning NVC for over 10 years. I just see one of our community friend is also showing up, Dina. All right, so since 2018, I got certified and also started running a platform called NVC Chinese Net. So I've been kind of promoting NVC toward Chinese-speaking practitioners. Since then, we are working with trainers from international trainers community. We have a serial of NVC trainings from basic to really advanced professional training, like training mediators, coaches, etc. And I'm also working as an assessor in training right now, and I've been also I'm also the Mandarin translator for Marshall's book, Language of Life. So that's what I've been doing around NVC over the last 10 years. Yeah, so should we start also with like a circle of checking, since we have a small group of people, and maybe just briefly, how you're feeling right now, and what draws you to this session, this mini session. Yeah, I can start with myself. So right now I am slightly nervous because of kind of doing workshop in English, which is not my my work. I usually do trainings in Chinese, in Mandarin. So it really stretches me a little bit to train in English. And also tomorrow I'm starting a kind of 7-8 day community retreat with a group of 30 people. This is like an annual community retreat we organize with adults and their kids. We have like 15 kids this time, 15 kids, young kids, and 5 teenagers. So it's going to be a big community gathering. So I'm also excited and slightly exhausted because preparing all these things. Yeah, so that's where I am, and I'm really happy just to connect with you, and some of you might join join the Bali IIT. So looking forward to seeing you in person then. Yeah, anyone would like to also check in quickly? Yeah, please.
Hiya, I'm Sian and I'm from England, and I'm just feeling really excited that the timing of this one has worked, that I can come along live to the session. And I have signed up for the Bali retreat in October, so I'm also really excited and looking forward to that, and it's lovely to meet you.
Great. Thank you. Okay, please. You just showed both at the same time. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jake from Australia. I'm new to NVC. I'm really looking forward to participating in the Bali IIT later this year. I'm feeling a little bit nervous. It's been a really long day for me, so I'm a bit tired as well. But I'm also excited and have some anticipation. It's my first interaction really with some IIT people, so I'm keen and eager. Thank you.
So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Celia. I'm from the US, East Coast, and I have a few feelings happening. One is today is going to be a challenging day. I have a memorial for someone in my family who passed later, so that's here, that's sitting right here. And also I've already signed up for the IIT. I have nervousness, little anxiety about the flight and the travel. It's a really long flight from where I am. And and what am I going to do in Bali after the training? Because I don't want to just fly there and spend 9 days training. And then some excitement too, because I'm a certification candidate, and Jim Mansky's my assessor, and Jory's my mentor, and Barbara Escher's a very good friend. So I'm really excited to meet Jim and Jory in person. I've only met their heads in little squares on Zoom. So I'm excited for 3 dimensions. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Frankie from, actually I was born and staying in the past 50 years in Hong Kong, and arrived to Taipei for the past year. And I have been a candidate for 3 years, I think. I'm also a student of Jim and Jory. So it's great to see Celia. It's the first time. And I'm excited. We are going to meet in Bali, and in the past years, I participate in the conference or IIT with my wife, but this time I will only come by myself, for she is studying here with busy learning schedule. So glad to meet you here and anticipating to learn, to share, and to experience something. Thank you.
You. Okay, thank you, Isabel, for checking in the chat. Okay. Anyone else would like to check in still? Rafaela, I think you are muted.
Hi, hello everyone. Namaste. So nice to meet you and so grateful to be here. I'll introduce myself for just a few words. I'm a yoga student, practitioner, of course, and teacher. And I asked for a scholarship to be able to be in Bali, hopefully, because of course, as anybody, I really need to really going deeper in communication skills, or because especially I moved here in Greece, where I am right now, from Italy, and it's so difficult for me to integrate in this completely different situation.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so Reina, Dina, you want to check in?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be with all of you this evening. And I hope I can be at the IIT to give you support emotionally, especially younger people that I have motivated to attend the IIT. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So Dina wants to speak still, or up to you? Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Dina from the NVC Chinese community. I'm here I'm just curious of what's happening here. Nice to meet everyone, and I'm not sure of attending the IIT or not, but still, yeah, happy to meet everyone here. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just excited to meeting some of you, many of you in person soon in Bali. Yeah. All right. So for tonight, for this session, a mini session, I prepared with the topic around anger. Yeah. And I would also just invite you to do a little, hopefully also a fun exercise. That's why if you could have like a pencil, like a paper and colored pencil at hand, that would be very helpful. Oh, great. You have them handy. Cool. Yeah, a paper and some colored pencils or pens. All right. Okay. So, speaking of anger, I'm just wondering, yeah, what's in your mind? What comes up in your mind when you think of anger? Your experience with anger? Anything you would like to share, like, keywords or what comes up? Yeah, Val, please.
Yeah, what comes up for me is like anger is not often allowed, right? Like I have to restrain, like it's not a pretty behavior. So I keep it inside. Yeah, that's what comes up for me.
Not pretty. Wow. The strong judgment. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
In my heart, mind, opinion, anger goes so together with frustration. For example, my case right now, dealing with my father dementia, I really, it's so difficult to find the right word, right time, context, and patience. And so, yeah, of course. I mean, inside this kind of anger goes so close with frustration. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a mixed emotions. Frustration is like a major emotion, and you said it's close to anger, right? Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, to me, anger is always come with pain. I feel hurt. It's unpleasant.
Yeah. Sure. Unpleasant feelings when you have anger. Yeah. Thalia, a powerful energy which can destroy or protect. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, anyone else?
I just wanted to, I actually spent years working with anger. And it's so different when we talk about anger from like a grown-up perspective, as like where the power dynamic is somewhat equal. But when anger is directed at a much younger, smaller person, where the power differential is so great, there can be a lot of trauma. So I'm a person who's received a lot of anger as a young growing up person. So I carry trauma from anger, but I also see my own anger as such a powerful, it's a protector, it's really, I love that I have anger. Like I'm really grateful I have it, because anger pops me out of so many other emotions. So I think it's like fire. If you know what to do with it, you heat the whole house. If you don't, it burns everything down and it hurts.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned there's not just the destructive side of anger. If you know how to relate with it, it can also serve you, or it shows something, it leads you to something, more than how it appears surfacely, or so exactly, that's also what I want to continue with my experience with anger. I also see it as an energy, and if we look at anger with observation lens, it is strong energy. And because we don't know how to relate to this strong energy, we tend to also experience the destructive side of it. And I think our early experience indeed comes from our experience with anger or strong emotion from our parents. As a child, we have strong attachment to them, therefore feeling extremely vulnerable when we interact with their strong emotions. And when parents don't know how to take responsibility of their emotions, which is not their fault, because rarely people have learned about how to deal with their emotions, not to mention to take responsibility of emotions. So if parents don't know how to take responsibility of their emotions, children tend to feel like there's something wrong with themselves and they need to take responsibility of their parents' emotions. So that's why we feel like something wrong with us when there's anger. So that's why our experience around anger is usually more negative, more destructive. So however, there's definitely more than that. It's a strong energy. Inside of it, we can also unpack, more like self-understanding, why we have such strong anger, why we have such strong emotions. How do we kind of learn, from that? If you have learned a little bit of NVC, there is a strong need beneath that anger. How can we unpack that gift? So that's why, to me, anger is really an important topic. And there are several important pieces in NVC that we can kind of pick when we learn how to transform an anger. So I want to show this slide quickly. Okay. Yeah, so I just mentioned about our parents, because they don't know how to take responsibility of their emotions. That's why our experience with emotions become having this perception that we have done something wrong. So what actually happened when we have experienced anger? When we experience emotions, we usually taught or experienced from adults that there's something wrong, something from outside of us need to take responsibility of our own emotions, like the weather or the traffic jam or some fightings I have with someone, and they caused my emotions, they caused my anger. However, if we relate to our emotions this way, we become really trapped. We don't know how to really liberate ourselves from emotions. And then because, we are so kind of, immersed in this right-wrong thinking. So NVC teaches us, how do we look at emotions differently? Instead of externalizing emotions, the cause of emotions is rather internal. We have emotions because of a perception, because our thinking. And beneath our thinking, there is our longing, there is our need. And what actually happens to our thinking? We have a long history of a right-wrong thinking embedded in us. So when we are angry, actually, we have this right-wrong thinking working in us. And this right-wrong thinking kind of leads to enemy image. Someone is wrong, someone needs to take responsibility of my emotions. And to me, working with enemy image is really, really important. When I look at the history of humankind, so much of our conflicts, our wars have to do with we rely on holding our enemy image to kind of discharge of our own anger, our emotions. Maybe 50 years ago, it was Jews, and now maybe Chinese. So this kind of really makes me feel like horror. If we don't know how to dissolve our enemy image, if we continue to hold on our enemy image to discharge our emotion, then our fightings, our conflict would never end. Yeah. And also what happened around anger is because we experience this right round thinking and this pressure, our amygdala immediately got turned on, and we started to be in this reaction mode, which is fighting, flighting, and freezing kind of reaction, and we lost our connection with choicefulness. So that's what happened. And to me, the transformation around anger has to do exactly the opposite. We need to, when we learn about the cause of emotions, we learn to take self-responsibility of it. I think that's really the starting point of our transformation. That's the beginning point of reclaiming of our power. And when we know how to take our responsibility of our emotions and our thoughts that leads to our emotions, and then our focus, our attention comes back to ourselves. And then we can start with this process of dissolving enemy image. And as said, this work around dissolving the enemy image to me is so significant, because that's exactly what Ahimsa is kind of, well, that exactly is the spirit of NVC, which kind of, if you have seen like non-violence in Hindi, is called Ahimsa. And Ahimsa means compassion, means a heart without enemy image, a state of heart without enemy image. So when we work with dissolving enemy image, we actually kind of move us toward the core, the spirit of NVC, the work of NVC. And when we are able to dissolve our enemy image, to kind of work consciously with our reaction, we also become more conscious with our choices. And that's exactly the work of liberation. So that's why working with anger to me is very important. And I want to just share with you a very, very small example that I just experienced very recently, before I show you how we can do like a small exercise to dissolve, to work with our anger, to transform our anger. Yeah, this example is also to illustrate what I just shared. So I just remembered a couple of days ago, when I was in a car, in an Uber, all of a sudden I realized the driver took the wrong route. And when I realized that, I just asked him, did you take the wrong route? And that was fine. However, what I received, the response that I received from him was silence. Silence is also a response, but to me, that immediately triggered me. Yeah. Then immediately I had this, what I said to him was, what I said to him was, yeah, you should kind of find the right way. I'm gonna be late for the flight. You really should hurry, something like that. I know I was in reaction mode. But however, like after maybe a few seconds, I just realized that I need to come back to myself, and I want to take this responsibility of my anger, and I want to look at like why was I triggered? So then I started self-responsibility work. I know this was my emotions, and I realized I got triggered by the way he responded to me. And my thinking, like my right or wrong thinking, my judgment was a lot about he should be responsive to me as a customer, or I should always, have an answer from a service provider. Yeah, this was my thinking. And more than that, I also got very curious, like why was I particularly triggered by his kind of reaction? Because I know so rationally that when people are in reaction mode, they are protecting their vulnerability. I know, like, this poor guy was kind of vulnerable. He was just trying to protect himself. And why do I, got so angry about that? And then I started to also realize my experience with such reaction. Like when I was little, when I was in reaction, when I was in freezing mode, like adults around me usually ask me just quickly to just speak up, right? So like I feel actually my need around being in this reaction is acceptance, friendly. I need spaciousness. My vulnerability wants to be seen, and my protection wants to be also respected. So I realized actually I have this very, very deep longings actually beneath my reaction. Of course, I also have some superficial needs like support and collaboration from him, right? So after doing this dissolving enemy image process, I just completely, fully came back to myself and to my needs, and the rest, it was very easy just to be responsible of my needs. Like I could, just show more compassion, acceptance to my trigger, and then I know what I need to do next to kind of collaborate with the driver to complete this journey. Yeah, so that was my example, yeah, to illustrate what I said about anger. Yeah, so the next part, I would like to invite you to just work a little bit with your own anger. Yeah. If you could think of one scenario right now, maybe not too intense, just like if we rate intensity from 0 to 10, maybe less than 5. Yeah, I just give you maybe 1 minute to just think of one scenario. If you have the case, would you please also just type maybe something in the chat, like yes or anything. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think we have most people ready. All right, so yeah, I will just continue with the process. All right, thank you. Okay, so continue with the process. So yeah, if you have your paper ready, I would like you just to draw a shape of a figure on the paper. Just try to fill the figure on the paper. So we're going to draw our anger map. So when you connect with the scenario, try to also connect with your body. Where do you feel this anger energy, this intense energy? Where do you feel it in your body? And please use the colored pencil or pens to just draw it on the figure, on the paper. Where do you feel this in your body? And how does it move? How does this energy expand in your body? And what colors do you choose? And what shapes do you draw to represent this energy and the expansion of this energy? Yeah, so when you draw the anger, the energy, you could notice the kind of the scale of it, the intensity of this energy. And you could also connect more, how do you feel that in your body? So after drawing this energy, right, I would like us to go to the next step. Of course, also take your own time. If you need more time for the last step, please take your time. Yeah. So when you have this anger map, I would like you to just look at this angry figure, this angry person, and gently speak to this person, saying, I know you're angry. I know you feel, I know this is how you're feeling in your body. Is there anything you want to tell to me? What thoughts are going on in you? Is there anything you want to tell to me? And when you listen to this person, please also write down the thoughts you have when you have this scenario, when you got triggered. Please just write down the thoughts. And remember that you are holding, these thoughts, you're listening to these thoughts with compassion, gently, just like how this mother holds a kid. And try to listen to the thoughts with warm curiosity as well. So when you write the thoughts, you're also unpacking the perception, the thinking we have beneath our anger. And we are taking responsibility of our own thoughts with compassion. And these thoughts are valuable, like the assumption of NVC: behind every action, there is a need. Behind every thought, there's also need. There's also longing. So when you have the thoughts, I would also like you to continue to kind of look at this figure and gently ask, what do you need? What do you long for? And try to seek your needs, your longings together with this figure. And then when you have the needs, please try to also find maybe colors or shapes to represent these needs, and feel these needs kind of fill the needs in the space surrounding the figure. When you finish the drawing, I would like you to, again, to kind of just connect these drawings, just like, wrapping this figure with your needs. It's like how mother kind of embraces the kids, and you are embrace yourself. You're wrapping yourself with these needs, the warmth of the need. And lastly, please also check again with your body. How does it feel now? How do you feel with your heart? Now close the share screen. Oh, just also quickly, yeah, this is also a adaptation of a practice from a program called Smile Keepers. It's a program of like having a kind of showing NVC to kids to create more experiences through playful activities like drawings, like yeah, like body movements, yeah, basically in a more experiential and fun way to let kids to experience NVC. Yeah, so this is also what I would like to show you during Bali IIT. I know the last day, the day before the last day would be around application of NVC. So I would also show how NVC is used in schools for kids. Okay, so this is some of the kids, what some of the kids do. Right. Okay, so would like to hear Smile Keepers. Yes. Yeah, I think you can find it. I could also share a website. There are 2 volume books. You can search Smile Keepers in Amazon. Right, so yeah, how's the experience? How's the transformation experience? Anyone would like to share? How is it for you?
I'll share. Yeah. So I mean, it was transformative for me, actually. You know, this was a really recent thing that I was angry. I didn't go too high intensity, which was good. It was, and I realized it was in different parts of the body that I thought. You know, it was in my throat, in my jaw, in my cheeks, in my nose from the breathing and from the frowning, you know, that's where it was. So it wasn't deep inside, like full-fledged anger, which was good. And then through the transformation and identifying my needs, you know, and I realized some stuff actually, because I don't take that, I don't unpack it as much. You know, I don't take the time to unpack it. And there was some really yummy stuff in there, you know, like one in particular was like, you know, I don't like flakiness when people don't deliver as when they promise things. And so there was some trust issues there. And I really was able to give myself a lot of, you know, nice like the baby picture really helped. And then, you know, after identifying all the needs, you know, I identified like 4 or 5 needs. And then drawing helped me, like, you know, like the ease and flow was like on the, you know, on the cloud. And then I just felt all cottony, kind of like it was, then I put myself around cotton, and that's what I wanted, you know, just like hear me, hear myself. And so it felt really yummy, and it kind of dissolved all the throat stuff. So it was very significant for me. I really felt the change as I played with this. So yeah, thanks for doing that.
Sweet, thank you. Yeah, I like your description of your drawing. It really feels like, wow, it's like very tender. And it also feels like very like embodying, like normally needs could be very abstract, but when you draw, right, it feels very, very specific. And
that's right.
Yeah.
It was real images like cotton and cloud and waves for flows. Yeah, so it felt really good. Yeah. It was embodiment, exactly. Thank you.
Nice. If you would like to show the picture, that would be also maybe interesting. Like, ah, I see. Nice, nice. Okay. Lovely.
I can go. Yeah, thank you. This was really interesting for me. I was doing it and I was like, yeah, my anger is like, I know. And I don't have anything on a really little scale. Like the only things I have are pretty big. So I was like, oh, I don't want to get too into this. I don't want to have it be too much in my body. And as I was doing I wanted to say two things. What really shifted was when I drew the body with needs. And my needs weren't images, they were color. This is what my ended up looking like. But I found some needs that I wasn't aware were in there. Because the more I was drawing it, I was like, is this what I'm really asking? Is this what this is really asking me for? And then I could just be, because in the anger, there was this experience of helplessness, of really young helplessness. And I went, oh, I want someone to help me with this because I can't solve this. And it went from, instead of being angry with somebody not, in my view, somebody not being responsible to, oh, I need help because I can't carry all this. Yeah. So I had a lot more compassion for myself. And I just want to say that because Val said the picture of the mother and the child created warmth, but for me, just because I have a different background, it actually created distance. When I saw it, I got a little like, ew, like I don't want to do that. Like, don't make me hold a crying baby. No, I know what that's like. So it felt a little tight in my chest when I saw it, like there was an expectation, so that's my, I know that's my background, but yeah, it was just interesting how imagery, different, if we've had different relationships, it can trigger different responses. But I really enjoyed it. Thank you. And I love using the colors.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah. True. So I'm wondering, like, in the end, do you feel like drawing the needs kind of also support transformation, like kind of feeling like being wrapped by needs or the warmth of needs? Does that help?
Yeah, that was actually where I felt the most shift, was when I put, because it was the cool color, like it was the greens and the blues coming in, who could just like soothe. And it was like the care, the external care, the accompaniment was visible. And it was like, oh, that's what it feels like. And I could take it into my body. That's what it feels like to get help and support and guidance, and have that safety and boundary too. So I really like that part, because drawing the anger was interesting, but then apply, it was like the medicine, the antidote. So I felt that. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. I'm glad care manifests in the end this way. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Anyone would like to share?
I like to share too that all resonating in me, especially the the places in my body where just imagining this scenario that I keep it low came up here in my throat, my jaws, my neck, starting from solar plexus and even go down. So upward movement and a downward movement. And the second part, the time that you, the space that you gave us to just breathe, calm down before starting to express the needs, was the very moment, the shift moment for me, the time, just that give myself the time, the permission to, okay, just a moment to, yeah, to grounding, basically, to regrounding. That's what I want. I cannot show the drone because it's a very oh, sorry, and it doesn't even better like that you cannot see it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Jake, please.
Yeah, I started off with my drawing and writing down what I was hearing the character, hearing the character of the drawing say, and that I was getting that. And then we moved on to I could draw that, and that was interesting to pay more attention to the sensations in my body. And in paying more attention to that, I realized it was in places that I didn't initially think it was. And when I paid more attention, yeah, it was in my throat, and there was sort of like a tingling on the outside of my arms, and that was interesting. And I was able to sort of draw that and represent it. And then we moved on to the needs, and I really hit a wall with that and struggled with the needs. And I started to write some things down and realized, like, hold on, I'm not writing down needs. I'm not writing down my needs. I'm writing down what I want other people to do. And was like, okay, that's not my needs. And then I sort of struggled with that, and realized that I don't have a great vocabulary of what needs are, or a good understanding of what they are. And then Val said something when she was sharing about her experience that I think you said you had a need to be trusted, or a need to have trust in something that you were talking about. And that really applied. I was like, oh yeah, I could see that I had a need in my situation as well to be trusted, and that need wasn't being met. And then from that, I was able to start adding to my drawing with something in trust, and could see a bit of a shift there.
Okay, great.
I'm happy to share my little drawing as well.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm also wondering how is the self-responsibility piece working there during the transformation? Does that help?
I'm not sure about the self-responsibility piece.
Yeah. Yeah, so just to clarify, so basically it is about how we kind of understand the cause of our emotion. We tend to externalize it. We tend to think, it is something outside of us that triggers our emotions, anger. So taking responsibility of that is to realize actually our perception leads to our emotion, and beneath the perception there's our longing. So that's how self-responsibility works. And to me it's like the first shift, because when we are angry, we immediately kind of looks for someone else to blame. And as Celia also shared earlier, we tend to look for kind of discharge our anger toward people who have less power than us. Yeah, think about, right? When we have anger, we have strong emotion, we don't discharge easily to people who have more power with. So someone else have less power would be the receiver easily. Yeah. So if we take responsibility of our emotion, then we kind of turn this attention back to ourselves. And this is where we start our transformation, our inner work. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for that explanation. Yeah, I didn't do much of that in this particular exercise. I sort of acknowledged that the emotions were mine, but I didn't really explore whether I was I guess I was subconsciously putting the blame or the fault for those emotions on somebody else who, in my example, didn't deliver something that they said they were going to deliver. Yeah, and I hadn't really explored that I was responsible for those emotions. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good to know that. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we can have like a last sharing before we continue with Q&A or whatever we want to also kind of connect to finish.
Want to share a bit?
Okay, yeah. Oh, you are muted, Frankie. Sorry. Frankie, you are muted. Okay.
Yeah, start with my figure first.
About that. Yeah.
Not very nice. But I discovered my anger was connected with my with a father image of myself. So I feel very grateful and enlightened. Yeah, so I'm so grateful. And I discovered one of my character maybe was come from that father, and it is the source of my this exercise. So thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So reminding me next time I would be careful of choosing what to represent, like showing care. Right. So yeah, I think that's the end of this practice and what I want to do with anger. Yeah, I also want to just share one like sweet story. I remember this one kid after drawing his anger map, and he shared that, I realized, that person who made me angry earlier was not blaming at all. He was actually just expressing his own needs. Yeah, so that's what he kind of opens himself immediately after he connected with himself. He could see that anger is not about right and wrong, not about blaming. It's one way to express our needs. But if we know how to express that this way, then we kind of discover the constructive side of our emotion. Yeah, we could make more conscious choices and have more self-understanding through experiencing intense emotions. So yeah, that's my sharing. Thank you very much. Right. Okay.
Thanks, that was fun. If you guys have questions, we can do questions, or we can continue if you guys want, or up to you guys, but it's your session, so. Thank you so much for doing that fun play, actually.
Yeah, during such a small period of time, you know, working with like a, you know, it could go long. We could do like a long session with anger, with transforming anger, but
I'm
with
sure.
a small, yeah, I think we still make it, right? So I'm really glad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still useful, even an hour. I know it's challenging an hour, right? Because in NVC we work, I mean, we work with feelings and needs, right? So it takes time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa.
So you guys welcome to share anything, any questions, or if you want to share more about this session, or just ask any questions about to Liu Yi or me for the IIT. We're here for you.
Oh, well, I want to just to say thank you once again for this opportunity. I think that I'm going to make a really slow and think very after I deeper think about the needs, especially because sometimes they are not so clear. Maybe, for example, I think that I know what I need, but sometimes it's not so clear, especially when situation changing so fast in some cases, or environment, people, relationships. And so yes, I want to put more attention, deep attention to the needs, to which really are my needs right now. And so thank you, because maybe I put too much attention on the focusing on the somatic expression on anger in this case, or other emotions, but I think that staying on the contrary, on the opposite, as by the way, for example, yoga philosophy say, you know, when you want to contrast some bad attitude, go to the opposite. So maybe even this case, anger. So I want to stay focused, to redraw my figure and stay focused on the needs, especially. So thank you so much. Easy, I mean, beautiful, but so simple practice that can reveal many, many things. So thank you. Thank you, really.
Yeah, it does take time to familiarize ourselves with needs, for sure. Yeah. And I also remember for years, I just carry myself with feeling and needs cards wherever I go, basically. Yeah. And whenever there's something like stirring me, I just put out my feeling and needs cards, and that really helped. And yeah, and also I think of course, we learn to distinguish between strategy and needs. Yeah, like strategy is more like things or people to fill our needs, which is external. And needs is more internal, our life energy. However, I think we could still kind of use strategy as like a bridge, like. Or we think, you know, I need someone to understand me. I realize that's a strategy, but I could continue to ask myself, when I have this understanding from that person, what needs, you know, do I meet? So you could continue to ask you this question. Okay, when you have this, what need do you have? And when you have this need met, what need do you meet again? So when you kind of ask yourself again and again, you kind of go deeper and deeper to the core needs. Yeah, so that's how I usually practice. I hope that's also helpful. Yeah, thank you. Yes, examples of feeling and need cards or list of needs. Val, do you have them in English?
Yes, I do. They're on the CNVC website. I also walked around I think feelings I can relate to because I can feel them in my body. It was easier, but the second level, defining the needs, I also walked around with cards. So yes, there, I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think during IIT there will be also a lot of sessions around kind of deepening our connection with needs, like really have this embodied experience with needs. Yeah, it does take some practice.
Yeah, just building the vocabulary, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I really like that. I mean, there was a good session, you know, Jim and Jory Mansky, they did the session on cultivating gratitude. And that gratitude practice was interesting too, because it was about naming the needs, right? And so we build the vocabulary, and I realize I'm also a very beginner. And yeah, it takes time. So let me share that.
Yeah. So I think on the website there is also a deck of feeling and needs cards called Grok cards. If you search NVC Grok cards.
Rock? What is it called? Can you put that in? Oh, Grok. I see. Okay.
Grok. Yeah.
I just put the feelings inventory, and then the needs inventory is the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I literally, and then sometimes I work, you know, even with people, and then they can't name him, and I just, like, I tell them I walk around with cards, yeah. to try, or little things, like sometimes when they're mixed emotions, you know, what is anger plus this? Oh, well, that's actually frustration or something like that, right?
Yeah, when you work with cards, it's also more tangible.
Mm.
You have like a list of needs. You tend to kind of more think about needs rather than connect with the energy of the.
Oh, I see the Grok cards. I see. They're on Amazon, aren't they? Can you get those in China? We can't get them in Indonesia.
Oh, I have the Chinese versions.
Oh,
yeah,
Chinese.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's what I use a lot during the workshop as well.
Nice. Thanks for sharing that. Never heard of it. Does anyone else have comments, questions?
I have a very basic question. And maybe it's on the link, is the address of the place we're having it listed?
The venue, you mean?
The venue, yeah.
Yes. I mean, do you need the address for like an Uber, or you need the address for sending a mail, or what do you think?
Well, I'm just wanting to do some traveling after,
Yes.
and I don't know exactly where I'm going. So, yeah, so I want to start making plans, knowing where I'm going to start from to travel.
Yeah, so did you see our local website too?
No,
because
just on the NVC link.
Because I made a local website and it gives you ideas of what to do in Bali too, right?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Okay, so yeah, so I'll share it right here, and then like if you're gonna come early, if you're gonna stay, depending on how long you're gonna stay. So this is on Bali, but you can also there's the address of Arma as well. The venue is on there, even though it's a double click. Let me give you the.
Yeah. And I also looked up, it said the rainy season starts in November. So I'm wondering if it's better to come earlier or stay after, in your opinion.
Better to come earlier, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you never know, because of global warming, things do change, right? But yeah, I mean, it can start in November. It's still very early November, but you never know. Like we've had rain for like the last week in the dry season. So that's very strange. Things changing. But it's quite beautiful weather in September, October, and it's like the Indian summer, what they call, right? It's like yeah, so probably earlier would be good. Yeah. Yeah. So I put a couple things in there for you, like our local website and then Arma, the venue. So the address is on there. I can copy and paste as well. And then I'm happy to help you. I'm not a travel agent, but I've lived in Bali for more than 15 years, 17 years. So I'm happy to, if I know what you want, right? Because when people tell me, okay, what should I do? I'm like, okay, what do you like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you like museums or if you like partying, it's a whole different thing I can suggest, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm happy, I'm on the chat, I'm on WhatsApp or via email. I'm happy to.
Okay. Thanks, and it's nice to meet you here too.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
Have a face.
I saw that you were registered, so.
Yep. Thanks.
Anyone else has a question for Louis or me? So Louis, I have a question. Like, so it sounds like you maybe have some Chinese participants that are interested. Are they gonna come? Are you thinking of doing some translation for them, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, of course, if some of them could speak English, that would be easier. But if they have difficulty with English, then I'm not sure how much they're willing to compromise the experience. Like if they could, if they have a translation, maybe with another translator, they need to kind of stick together when they join a session. So yeah.
Is there going to be an IIT in China?
Yeah, there will be IIT every year. I think this year there will be one in December, and next year I'm organizing one as well. Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, I have advertised this IIT for now, so hopefully there will be more people who can speak English to join. That's what I'm trying to do now.
And can you give us an idea of what you would like to offer at the IIT? Do you already have an idea of some of the course offerings that you're thinking of?
Yeah, let me try to pull the curriculum out. Let me see. Okay. So I don't know if you have like the curriculum of IIT.
I do, but the participants don't, yeah?
Yeah, so normally we start a first day with basic like self-empathy. So I will introduce self-empathy with dance floor. So dance floor is also a tool that you can kind of play with NVC while kind of walking on the steps. So you have also your full kind of body kind of participating in the transformation. So that's what I really like. Not just to think about or not just to talk about NVC, but to really embody the transformation process. So the first day I will work with dance floor, and I would also work with self-responsibility, like more like building foundation, actually. How do we kind of sharpen our awareness, build our foundations, how to observe through taking self-responsibility. So then second day is about empathy. Yeah, I would introduce role plays. I really enjoy role play because when people do empathy, they would also kind of do more guessing, again, like thinking rather than being actually inside, the experience of that person. So role play really helps. So that's what I would do with empathy. Yeah, I would also introduce the power wheel, the wheel of power, just to also add the lens of power when we look at yeah, our interaction. Power really is actually, to me, a deciding factor. But often kind of missed or kind of unseen. So I want to unpack also how power impacts our communication and relationship earlier on, so that people can carry this power lens, when they continue their practice. So then day 3, it's about self-expression, honest expression. I would introduce how to hear no, because when we often also got triggered when we hear no, and how can we continue working with these triggers and the conversation, even like a difficult conversation. Yeah, and day 4 is healing and reconciliation. I would do also, yeah, I wrote like embodied self-empathy for healing, but I forgot what it's about. I need to also refresh myself. Yeah, but just to let you know, there will be also healing and reconciliation. And day 5 is social change. So I will work more on power as well, like how can we reclaim choices and power from domination to partnership? Yeah. So that's the social change. And then we also have day 6 on conflict resolution. So I would also share mediation model, the 3-chair mediation model. And that's mediation with people, with 2 people, and also inner mediation. And day 7 is gratitude. I'm thinking to integrate active hope. I don't know if you're familiar with Joanna Macy's work. Yeah, to me that they really share a lot in the root to really kind of have a lens of gratitude and active hope, basically. Facing challenges. I think during this time of challenging, we need a lot of active hope. So that's yeah, what I want to integrate with. And then we have day 8, sharing NVC. Yeah, I just also shared, I would share about smile keepers. How do we share NVC in schools? And I also will share AI and empathy. We are also developing AI, kind of, yeah, have like more accessible tool for people to have empathy through AI. So I would share, the pros and pitfalls of working with AI. Yeah. And 9 day, yeah, that's the final day. Yeah, okay. So.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. FOMO for sure, fear of missing out. Yeah, that sounds great. That's an interesting AI. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Anybody has any question on any of that? Sounds like a fabulous program, right?
Curious with the other trainers what they're gonna share, and it's also a dilemma for us, like, wow, there's so much interesting thing going on, and yeah, so much you could be teaching and training, right? So many, yeah, subjects. Yeah, 9 days is, I mean, it's not enough, right? We could just be there for so long, but still great. Okay. Any final questions, comments? Is this a good time to stop? Does it feel complete? Yeah. We can check out if you're happy.
Sure, I'll check out. And yeah, I'm really grateful. Every time I attend a little workshop, it just reminds me, right, of all the beautiful NVC practices. Yeah, it just feels nice and warm in my body. and just renews my enthusiasm for NVC. So thank you.
I'll jump in because I have to start to get ready for my day. Yeah, so much gratitude. Thank you. I love that exercise. I work with teens in a teen rehab. Man, there's some anger. So I love this exercise. I want to find out how I already teach about anger, but I love the way making the needs visible was so powerful. And I want to share that with them. It's all about power. So I'm really excited now for the IIT to meet you. I feel warmth, connection, and see faces. So I'm feeling, I guess, more confident about this big trip across the ocean to see you. So thank you very much. I've got to sign off. Thank you.
Right, yeah. Okay, thank you, Rafaela, for checking out. Yeah, I also feel relieved. It's my first session in with the IIT group in English. So I feel more confident to do more sessions in English. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Rina, did you want to check out, or Isabel? Or all right, I'll stop the recording first of all.